Hi everybody, and welcome to this stream of the British Championships online qualifiers round 4. And so it's the penultimate round, and it's getting very exciting. Now we know, I think it's the top 12, isn't it, that qualify, plus any tie breaks. So 12 and ties. So here is the draw. And so we have on top board Rock Troll, Tristan Cox against Yichin Han. We've got Steve Key against Gerasimos Giatros. Ryan Brooks against Harry Grieve. Lewis Turner against Jonathan Payne. I'm going to go down to all the 2.5s. Lawrence Spencer, Simon Smith, who is Woldsman. We have Chris Duncan against George Gazis. Oh, and I'm going to go a little bit more actually. Schlock Verma against Peter Finn, and Oliver Stubbs against Theo Cowrie. Harry Zheng against Amir Abbas, and Edison Zhu against Sean the Prawn. So yeah, I mean, all of these players, and actually quite a lot more down that have a chance of qualifying. They need to finish in the top 12. Game should be starting just about now. So we're going to see if we'll start with Rock Troll and Yichin Han. Okay, have they started yet? I do have an observe Rock Troll there already, and it looks like they haven't. Actually, I better change which screen I'm sharing so that you can actually see my chess.com. Okay, chess.com. Okay, and let's also look at Woldsman. Ah, yes, that one has started. Okay.
Okay.
This is Lawrence Simon Smith.
Yeah, G3 King's Indian or Grunfeld, not quite clear yet what it's going to be. Going to be a King's Indian. Well, it might be a King's Indian. No, White's playing a quieter stroke offbeat line. I mean, White's played various things in this position to avoid C4. I mean, you've got 6 rook E1 is something that I've played in the past. I think Magnus has played 6 A4. B3 is quite normal. A5 quite a normal reaction, and then we're going to see what White is going to do about that. I guess A4 is normal in this position.
Yeah.
So, and then you're going to go Bishop B2, probably Knight BD2, and just just develop
E4 maybe.
Yeah, that's right. Double fianchetto should be a slight edge for White.
Okay.
So that's going to be a nice positional struggle, I think, this one.
All right, let's see. Another positional player. Rock Troll still hasn't started. So let us see. Board 3 is Rai B with lots of E's.
Oh yeah, right. That's right.
4 E's, I think, to be precise. Aha, Rai B against Harry Grieve.
Okay. This one. Oh, it's a Notabome.
I'm going to just play it from the start.
Yeah, or as the English know it, a note boom. Very sharp opening. I played it. I played against it a couple of times as White. B takes C3. That's very unusual. Normally they take back with a bishop on C3.
Yeah. Hi, Julio.
Hey, Julio. This is very unusual, and in principle not very good. Normally you take with a bishop on C3, and then you've got either B3 to undermine the pawn chain, or D5 to break through in the center. And here you're simply I mean, Black's queen side is now reasonably solid, so it's just a real pawn sacrifice here. But okay, queen B1. Now, I think bishop D7 is the theory, if I remember right.
Okay, so it is still theory. It's just
Full theory this.
Not considered the best line for white.
No, I mean, I think bishop d7 is the move now for black, and if knight e5, I go knight f6. I think that's how it goes. But this is supposed to be, you know, simply black does actually keep his extra pawn, you know, so so yeah, I mean, in principle, that's quite good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe White's got some interesting ideas. Maybe there's been some theory that I'm not aware of there. That's always possible as well. But in principle, this looks like it's yeah. I mean, often you often play this b takes c3, but particularly if White's gone e4 earlier, to do it together with e3 is a little bit strange, maybe.
So if you do manage to get e4 in, it might be fine.
Yeah, but you could have gone e4 on move 6.
Straight away, yeah.
Just wasting time, really. And so yeah, no, I mean, in principle, this should be good for black. This, but
who first played the note boom? Is that anything to do with that with was boom?
Strange enough, the first person to play the notenboom was Daniel Notenboom, a Dutch player in the 1920s, who very creative player. He really did play. I mean, you know, sometimes people get openings named after them, and they didn't really play them. But like the Richter Rouser, where Rouser didn't really contribute anything to that. But Notenboom really did play the Notenboom, and I mean, the games that he played look incredibly modern, you know, very much like this, basically. So, yeah, he really thought it up. He was a very talented Dutch player who died very young in the 1930s of, I'm not quite sure, tuberculosis, something like that. So, a real loss, because he was a very strong player. But yeah, I mean, his name lives on in this opening. And as I played it a couple of times, and you know, really, I never really felt that comfortable with White, I have to say.
Yeah. Okay, we've got Rock Troll against Peshka the Great. So that is Tristan Cox against Yichin Han.
Okay, so Yichin, this is very solid from Rock Troll.
Yeah.
Wowsies.
Yeah, queens are coming off.
Rock Troll, my goodness, knight c6. In principle,
Trying a new style.
In principle, this should not be anything for White, I think, unless there's something particularly clever that we can do here. What's the idea? Could because Black threatening knight takes d4 here. And obviously, we don't particularly want to go knight takes c6, because that would just give black would be better than in actual fact. So I suppose the only thing that occurs to me is something like knight b5, maybe.
Okay, to defend the pawn and threaten the fork.
Or maybe e3. Maybe we can go e3 here.
I was looking at e3, I have to say.
Maybe we can go e3, because if you go knight b4, then I'll go bishop b5 check, which should be fine. So after e3 and then knight takes e5, de, well, the d5 pawn hangs, so who knows? If you go e6, then I'll go bishop b5. So maybe this is maybe e3 is the move that we should play here.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Is this really a line for White? I mean, g3 is that was which book was this recommended in recently or discussed? I think in a book by Ipatov, called Unconventional Ideas in the Modern Game or something, for Unconventional Ideas for White. Okay. I think it looked at g3, which is quite interesting. I can't remember this line though. But I think that e3 is what you need to do here, and then follow up with bishop b5, and you're probably. I
mean, they've both been playing very, very fast. So I think Tristan. I'd imagine Tristan has deliberately prepared it.
Yeah, you would have thought so. Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, this is going to be interesting endgame struggle.
Okay, Lewis Turner against Johnny Payne. Right. So the Leicester system.
Hello, Pesser. Yeah, good time to stream. It's a very good time to stream. Indeed. Just after dinner.
The Leicester system against McCarthy Stone. So we have Lewis Turner against Johnny Payne.
Yeah, now this is interesting. So Jonathan has played a rather unusual Scandinavian here because he hasn't gone knight f6. So, and he's played the bishop.
Let's do it from the start, yeah.
He's played the bishop out to d6 very early. Is that good? Interesting.
Ooh, g4.
Yeah. So, I mean, black's got two ideas. I mean, you could try bishop takes e5 here.
That's
so
what
I'm guessing that GF, bishop takes d4 fe is a bit unpleasant for black. So you might go bishop g6, and then the difference with the normal lines is that you know, if white goes h4 after bishop g6, then we can go bishop takes e5.
Let's put it on a board.
D takes e5.
So we're talking about bishop takes, yeah?
Well, probably bishop g6, I think. Yeah, this I think is probably just a bit dodgy for.
Because if you take that, then there's what
well,
queen.
Maybe I throw.
You wouldn't take that one. Oh, well, you could still take that. Yeah.
I'll maybe go queen h5 check, and then after g6, I don't know, maybe queen e2 or something like that. I just want a castle, or queen h3. I just want a castle queenside afterwards, basically.
Yeah.
You know, you got queen e5, but I don't. It doesn't. It feels very smelly for black. You know, so I wouldn't really recommend this. But what black might do is go bishop g6, I think.
Yeah, just drop that.
And then the idea is that if you go h4 here, now I'll take on e5. Though I must say, even here, yeah. So takes. This is quite unclear, I suppose, really. Although, yeah.
To go h5.
Well, it is check, Natasha.
Did not.
So,
did not do that.
Yeah, I mean, knight e2 looks vaguely tempting because you've got bishop c3 and stuff. But I'm guessing that queen e4 here is quite annoying, hitting the bishop on c4 and the rook on h1. So you would probably, I mean, maybe you need to go something like bishop e3
instead of knight e2.
Instead of knight e2. Well, I don't know. This is probably quite dangerous for black, in actual fact. But maybe go h5 here with black, you know, and I suppose Lord knows really. Queen d2, you know, followed by castles. No, not obvious really. You know, it's this is definitely one possibility, I think.
This looks okay for black to me.
Well, okay, I'll go queen d2.
Yeah. Okay, we better develop something. Develop this one.
Long castles.
We do the same.
Bishop d4, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit worried. I mean, you might escape somehow, but I'm a little bit worried, I have to say, just with how this is going, you know. I mean, right. I don't know.
Wait. Queen a5.
Yeah, bishop g7.
Oh, knight. No, I can't do it.
No, I mean, you can go rook h7. You can go rook h7. It's not 100% clear because I can't really keep the pin. I mean, I can go bishop f8 if I want. Oh, no, I can't go. You got knight takes f8 there. So, sorry. Oops. Rewind. I could go bishop d4. Then you might get in c5. Who knows? I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Natasha. I mean, I'm a little bit worried about it. Put it that way. But I wouldn't. I can't say that it's not that it's winning on the spot. But in general terms, yeah, you know. I mean, what you could do as well, I suppose, just thinking about it, is maybe you don't go h5 as black. Maybe you just go knight d7. Is that possible? or knight f6 maybe. Because if I go h5 there, then I go bishop e4.
Yeah.
And again, if knight e4, I've got queen e4, forking the bishop and the rook. So then you'd need to find some sort of other move, really. Maybe there's bishop d4. Maybe there's I don't know. It's very risky for black, but presumably. If you know it, then maybe maybe you've got the precise moves that you need to survive it. But I wouldn't really like to do this position without some very good preparation, I think.
Yeah, Johnny Payne, he would be well prepped, I would think.
He would be pretty well prepped.
I don't know. I played him about a week ago in an in-person Blitz tournament. Yeah, it was a good game, but he won.
Hey, Niall. Good to have you on the stream.
Hey. Okay, so if I go back to the game, we'll see if they've played any moves. How do I do that? I just click on here, right?
Click on the game. Yeah, there we go. White did it just a little bit more sensibly there. Went just knight takes g6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit more. Yeah, it's all right, but it's a little bit less attacking, really. Black's going to sort of get away with it there. Certainly, I think that Black's move order has paid dividends. Put it that way. Is rather than having his bishop on g6 chased like you do in the main lines, here you've managed to get rid of the knight on e5. So, yeah, it's just a normal Scandinavian now.
I wonder if Black will ever take that pawn on h2.
No, I think knight bd7. Knight b6, castles queenside, knight fd5 is going to be the plan.
Yeah. Actually, Black's pretty solid.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, h5 and g5 or g5 and h5, can come in. So it's but I mean, it's always one of those things. I think you're advancing. Exposing weaknesses. If Black survives, then maybe there's quite a few squares that you can exploit. But I'd have to say I never really enjoyed playing the Scandinavian. I didn't really like the structures very much, but yeah, it can be effective.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at it's Chris Duncan's Drunken Knight, isn't he?
He certainly is.
Let's do that one. Do I need a double N? Drunk N Knight. This should be correct. There we go. Okay, let's see this one. Queen's Gambit declined.
So very solid there. White probably a move order. Oh, hoping maybe for a sharp Botvinnik semi-Slav, but getting a solid orthodox Queen's Gambit decline there. So bishop d3 slightly unusual. You normally try and delay bishop d3. So go queen c2 or rook c1. Because and then when Black goes d takes c4, you take on c4 in one go. That's normally the. So that's this is quite.
Take on c4 straight away.
Not yet, no, but he will eventually there. h6, then takes, and now c5. So it's a small edge for White, but yeah, I mean, I think if you look in the database, oh yeah, Guitar Man, hi, indeed, Queen's Gambit. Just this is perfect for you. So yeah, I mean, White's a little bit better in these positions, but it's not huge really. I mean, Black's got a number of plans here. I mean, Black could just aim to take on d4, And then depends a little bit how white plays. I mean, if white wants to try and keep his structure intact, he takes back with a knight. But then you can play something like knight e5 and bishop d7. If white takes back with a pawn on d4, then you just play something like knight b6 and bishop d7 to c6, and isolated queen's pawn, but you're very, very solid there. So that's one thing. The other thing black can do is just keep the tension in the center a little bit longer and play something like a6 or b6 and bishop b7, and just try and develop like that. Black's wasted tempo with c6 to c5, but white's wasted tempo with bishop d3 to c4. So tempo-wise, the situation is quite even there. So white can do all sorts of things here. Queen e2 is a pretty normal move, I have to say. D takes c5 sometimes is possible, just to bring a knight in the way to an exposed square that you can then hit with b4 afterwards. That's possible. But queen e2 would probably be, or rook c1 is another vaguely normal move, but probably queen e2 is the most natural, to bring the rook to d1 opposite the queen on d8, and then ask black, how are you going to develop properly? c5 is slightly unusual. Often white plays in these sort of situations, black plays knight d5 just to swap off the dark squared bishops and a couple of minor pieces. But hey, Guitar Man, yes, no, it's all in the book indeed. It's but yeah, this is all quite common. The c5 is a decent move, and white. To be honest, I think it's normally quite hard for white to make anything of this, as long as black's got a good patient approach, not worrying about being just a tiny bit worse, and just equalizing the position bit by bit. Then it works very well for black.
I just realized we missed out board 2, so let's have a look.
Aha!
Gambit. Okay, let's see this one as well from the start.
Ooh, it's looking a little bit ugly for white there. So symmetrical English. The Iron English. I'm sure this he's read Simon Williams's book. Oh, and black playing it Gambit style.
Okay.
E5.
Not taken though.
No, not taken. Taken now. Bishop b3. Interesting, b4. So clamping down on the d4 square, knight e7. And white's gone rook a4. Interesting. Ooh. Takes. And castles. So a little bit of a okay. I wasn't quite. I was thinking. I don't understand at all how how this has happened. But now this is reasonably clear. So
it looks like they're just kind of clearing off the board from the queen's side.
Yeah, no, it was. I couldn't understand how that knight had gotten a4. But or what the logic was. But okay, that's clear now. So what can we do here? d4 is the most obvious move for white, really. And then we have what sort of ideas do we have here?
On the board.
d4. If we exchange everything off, then
that's what I was thinking. They're just going to exchange, aren't they?
Well, yeah, but then the black d pawn's a little bit weak.
Okay.
No, it's probably not very much, but just if you play knight d4, bishop d4, and I'm just going to go bishop takes d4 and rook d1, and I'm going to be I'm just going to be a little bit better with white. And the most you'll ever achieve is to swap off your d pawn to my b pawn, which is which is nothing.
I suppose white's b pawn is passed, so.
Yeah, no, I think white's going to be a little bit better here. Not very much, but if anyone's got the advantage, it's white. So I would look to do something more active than this. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So instead of after d4, instead of c takes d4, I'd look for something else. Move 16.
There it is. So what else could you do? Could you do c4? Is that going to be just bad?
Oh, I'm not sure about that. I mean, the move that appeals to me the most is bishop a6 instead of with the idea that, you know, after d takes c5, d takes c5. I've got this pin on the knight on e2, but I'm not really sure. Well, I mean, it's not so bad, probably. I mean, if you do something like, you know, if you do something like rook e1, I go knight d4 simply, you know, and I'll hammer that knight into there. You can't take on c5 yet. And maybe I'll just be able to defend the c pawn and get some initiative somehow. I think that's probably true. So at the very least, it's more exciting than, you know, than
dropping it all off and being slightly
taking on d4 twice. So bishop a6 is what I like to do. I mean, do you need to take on c5? I think you probably do, actually. Because I mean, I'm just threatening bishop e2 and knight d4, and if you go d5, you know, I take and I go knight e5 or something. I don't know which one. Maybe knight d4. Knight e5 is quite nice. You know, and I've got knight c4 threatened. I've got knight f5, and that knight on a4 is completely useless for white. So if anyone's going to be better, it's going to be black here, I think. So I think you probably
taking on c5. Look, that line I thought looked quite nice anyway.
Yeah, so d takes c5, and then yeah, I mean, if you take on
your queen. So, oh, are we going to get hit? We're going to get hit.
You're going to get hit.
Yeah.
And reasonably firmly. So, I mean, if you go queen d8, I go rook d8. And again, it's the same thing. I mean, you go something like rook e1, I go knight d4 simply, you know. And again, you know, I have no idea whether this is any sort of advantage at all, but it's a bit more, you know, it's a bit more exciting than swapping everything off on d4. So,
yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe even if you took on d8, rook takes d8, rook e1, I've maybe even got knight b4. I don't know. Always hard to tell. Knight b4.
I'm going to come in here.
Yeah, because if you go knight takes c5, I go knight c2. You go rook c1, and then I go bishop e2. And if rook c2, I've got rook d1.
Yeah, ouch.
So could be, you know, could be. I definitely think bishop a6 is the move you'd want to play. And to be honest, I mean, you know, looking at the white pieces, which are a little bit odd with the knight on a4, you know, I feel that black should have something at least, you know, to black shouldn't be, you know, forced worse in this position, put it that way.
Yeah.
I would have expected that. I would expect that something like this would work. So yeah.
Okay, so Dingbat did play d4, but we've gone into the exchanging line.
Yeah.
So went d4, yeah. CD, knight takes. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe black's going to go knight e5 here. This is a possibility. Threatening knight c4. That might be possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're threatening knight e4, knight c4, and you're also threatening knight g4 as well. So that might be a little bit, that might be a bit irritating as well, actually. Hadn't thought of that. So, yeah. So that could be interesting as well, that line, just knight e5. But yeah.
Okay. Let's have a look at, oh, I know what, we'll look at checkmate a lot.
Ah, checkmate a lot.
Against Schlock, or Schlock Varma against checkmate.
Future for the rook on the C file. Yeah, sort of. But it's just knight e5, rook c1. I think I'll go knight g4. I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure what I do, how white deals with that dark square bishop threat. So I think black's probably a little bit better still in that position as well.
All right, completely different. A Dutch defense.
Wow. Okay, Dutch with bishop b4. Okay, in principle, this is h6. Okay, in principle, black's very comfortable here. Okay, but this is maybe a little bit overambitious to go b6, because I mean you've got h6 and you know, white's gone bishop takes f6, so you don't have that much control of e4. So it's going to be hard for you to stop white from b4, which is a little bit annoying, I think, but not so bad either. I mean, pieces have been exchanged. So let's have a look. I would maybe just try to go myself just a quick b6 and e5 actually without the bishop on b7. But okay, so white goes e4 and black goes knight d7
and rook e1.
Rook e1. That's good. That's a decent move, yeah. So yeah, black's got to decide what to do. I mean, the thing is, f takes e4, bishop takes e4, bishop e4, queen e4, that sort of position. It's just kind of just a little bit better for white, really, you know, because if you take everything off on e4, because e6 pawn's a bit weak and your light squares are a bit weak. You know, the queen can invade on c6 or b7, so that's just a little bit annoying, you know. Yeah, I mean, you've got to watch out a little bit, because maybe after, if you go rook a8 in reply to rook fe1,
just back here.
Yeah. You might well be able to just take, I think you'll just take on f5 and take on e8, actually. I think that'll probably be quite annoying.
Oh, queen for 2 rooks, one of these games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never normally so keen on that, but I'm kind of wondering whether this one might be quite good.
Because you can double up on the e file, is that what you're thinking?
Well, I was actually, yeah, I was thinking doubling up on the e file, but actually the king can come to f7. Which I haven't really fully appreciated here, and then after rook e1, you take on f3. You take on f3.
Yeah, and knight e5.
And knight e5 is possible. When yeah, I mean.
Oh, but pawn takes.
Yeah, queen g5 check.
Queen g5 check.
And then king e8, ed, king e7. Yeah. You know. Yeah, you're not going to be worse anyway. You know, I mean, that's with black.
Yeah.
So, okay, so maybe you can go rook e8.
So wait a minute. So we are going after. It's that one there.
Yeah. So maybe this is possible then. I mean, one thing you could try, I suppose, is. I was wondering about e5. I'm not 100% sure. Could go rook b1 just to see what you're going to do about that. You know, vaguely with the idea of going c5. Maybe this is. Yeah, okay. I mean, black will play e5, mate. Maybe black will play e5 now. Because at ef, I've got e4, you know. So maybe that's decent. Maybe this is just quite good for black. I thought there would be more problems than this.
That first line, though, it wasn't all forced. So say we did do this queen for 2 rooks thing. So we get up to take here and we go king f7.
Yeah.
We don't have to go rook a1. It might be
just... No, I mean, we could go rook e3 or something, I suppose. Or rook e2. How is this? Not 100% sure, actually. I always find these very difficult to assess, really. I mean, you could imagine white getting control. I mean, if you go rook e1, and then d5, knight d4, and f4. You know, then you could have complete control. But I would have thought that black maybe would be able to do something in the meantime. But I mean, I can play f4, you know, and just then I can take on f3 afterwards. But then the light squares are pretty weak, and I'm not sure you're really getting into my. I don't think you're getting into my light squares really. But that isn't so clear. I mean, rook e2. I could take on f3. Takes, queen g5 check. King h1. Queen h5. Now bishop e4, I go knight f6.
And what rook here?
Well, then I'll take on e4 then. I mean, at the very least, I've got perpetual and probably, you know, well, queen f3 check takes e3, you know, so maybe more, although you could go 5, I suppose. A difficult position to assess, really, but I wouldn't have thought black would be so bad. So, I don't know really, yeah, I think black's sort of all right like that.
All right, let's see what they did. Okay, black, so black's on f4.
Yeah, black went f4. That's possible as well. That's possible as well.
So black's gonna build up with g5 and stuff and just go for it on the king side.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, the thing that you've got to think about here is whether white can play e5 in this position. This is kind of a key question.
Yeah.
Because d takes e5, knight takes e5. I mean, I'm going to follow up with f3 with white, you know, and then I'm really very solid, and you've got some weaknesses, you know. So, but I think it's probably not going to work. This is probably quite.
You can't take straight away, presumably, on f3.
Well, then I take on f6.
f6, take on e2.
Yeah, and I was hoping I'd go fg, but there's bishop d3 there, which is quite upsetting. But I mean, maybe I can just take on f3 with the queen after, and after you go de, I go queen e4 or something, threatening maybe with some idea of queen h7 or something.
Yeah.
That's not completely clear by any means. It's all incredibly murky, this. It really is quite... I mean, you know, even in actual fact, after e5, bishop f3, even g takes f3 is quite interesting. Because, I mean, you know, I'm getting the same position... So you go d takes e5, for example, and yeah, okay, maybe queen e4 or maybe just king g1, king h1, you know, and I'm going to try and get a rook on the g file, and there's plenty of weaknesses everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know, but it feels to me like white will be better in this sort of position, you know, but not completely clear.
Yeah. All righty. Let's check back in on Rocktroll and Peshka the Great.
Okay, so knight b5 happened, and a3. Okay. And we were talking about e3 here for white, but black played knight b5 and a3, stopping knight d4. I don't think this was preparation now. I think Tristan was out of his prep because spent a very long time on a3, and then could you remove the labels, Natasha, because it's sort of we've only got half our faces visible behind our labels, our name labels.
One moment. There we go.
That's better. So okay, black played knight takes e5. Takes, knight d7, knight d4 from white, bishop g6. Yeah, white could decide to play e6, but probably that's not going to be too special. I mean, we'll just chase it away. So he played e6, And now white's got to have a think about what he wants to do here, whether he wants to play bishop f4 here or f4. I mean, I'd rather play bishop f4, really.
I think Rocktroll will play f4.
Well, it's a lot of weaknesses you're creating like that, you know. It's a bit, I'm not 100% sure how, you know, whether white's position is on the verge of getting worse and we should be trying to, you know, sort of keep a bit of control, really. And bishop f4, at least, you know, doesn't weaken anything too much. You do have to watch out a little bit for moves like f6, you know, and if ef, then e5. But yeah. I'm assuming that for the moment, these are all right.
f6, I guess you meet it just with knight e6.
Yeah, that's right. And then that should be all right. So after bishop f4, I mean, there's stuff like rook c4, for example, you know, just to put a bit of pressure on, and then bishop c5 afterwards, you know, which might be irritating, maybe, but maybe not. Maybe you've just got enough, you know, control just to hang together. One thing you've got to watch out is that if you play bishop f4 and then follow up with e3, then yeah, I mean, that bishop is sort of cut off from the queen side, which is a bit annoying, and also a bit vulnerable to getting trapped with h6 and g5. But I think, you know, that would probably be my the first move I'd be thinking of playing, because just f4, you know, sort of weakens e4, and I'm just sort of I'm a little bit worried about that. You know, knight c5, bishop e4. White could maybe just play bishop c5. I don't know. A little bit scared that you know,
yeah,
I have the feeling that white's wasted a lot of time, so I don't want to start making big committal moves like that, really. You know, f4 is the sort of move I'd play if I had a couple of extra tempi, I think. Yeah. You know, but just this position, I feel like I'm running behind on tempi, so I should just play it nice and quietly with bishop f4 if I can. But I don't see why not, actually. I don't see why I wouldn't do that.
All right, let's see a game we haven't seen yet. So Oliver Stubbs, Unagi 5. Okay. There we go. Against Whimsical Jam, who is Theo Cowrie.
So white's a pawn up here.
Should we whiz through the opening?
Yeah, go for it.
London system.
Indeed. Okay, takes. Ooh, b5 is risky. My goodness, b5 is risky. Because your queen side's very, very loose there, and you're just making an extra loosening there. So, okay.
Yeah. Because if the knight drops back, you can't defend with a6.
Well, I mean, knight a5, what was played, just seems to win a pawn, I think. So, bishop b5. A minute. Just wondering whether instead of knight takes a5, could you go knight takes d4? Is that vaguely possible?
Oh, just here. Oopsie.
Yeah, I mean, he goes knight takes d4, c takes d4.
Right, so we are here. We're looking at it from the other side now.
Probably not. It probably doesn't work. I mean, I go knight e5, knight d4, bishop d7. Knight d4, knight takes d4. Knight takes d4, yeah.
Knight takes d4.
So I was wondering about c takes d4. Bishop d7. Now, knight takes d7, e takes d4, whatever, is just obviously good for white. I was just wondering whether I could play d takes c3. That was the
Yeah.
Just the thing that vaguely occurred to me, but it's probably completely wrong.
So knight takes.
Bishop d7 and then takes c3. It's just the only thing that that vaguely attracted me was that I might have a bishop c3 somewhere to fork king e1, bishop knight a5, but I don't think it's really working. You go something like bishop c6. Well, even just say bishop a4. Let's just play super safe, and then cb, rook b1. And there I go knight d5 or something.
Yeah.
That one's not so crazy, although you could still have bishop c6. So maybe instead of bishop a4, you just
bishop c6 straight away, right?
Yeah.
Here.
And I go cb again. You go rook b1, and then yeah, that knight gets a little bit dominated, really. I bet, yeah. Rook c8, rook b8. Yeah, I mean, you've got tricks, but I mean, it shouldn't be anything. It shouldn't be working. So
that's good for white.
Oh yeah, it must be winning for white.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Right. So white won a pawn.
Indeed.
So Theo's trying to play against this b pawn, I suppose.
Yeah, so b4 from white. Yeah, interesting. I mean, knight d2 was also possible. Just wondering what. I mean, it could be that. Yeah, I mean, you could sort of wondering whether it would be sensible to just give back the pawn, you know, and go knight d2. And then knight d5, bishop g3, bishop h6, and something like king d1 maybe. And you just end up giving back this pawn, this b pawn, but then you'll get your rook over to a1, and it's very active. So I don't know. Maybe that's an idea, but maybe this is very good for white. I don't know. It's just that there are sort of plenty of weaknesses in the white position after what happened. So
yeah,
needs to be calculated carefully.
So Theo's playing an active defense here. Takes.
Indeed. Yeah, it has to. I think otherwise he'd just be completely lost there. So I think this is really necessary. The knight d5 was played, or rook a2 rather.
A2.
Rook b1, and now threatening rook b8. Obviously, well, actually, was this really? What if I just went?
Can you take on a5?
It is possible in theory, I think.
Yeah.
Possibly also possible.
Let's have a look. So takes. Oops, not h6. So takes here, and then if you go there, you've got a defense with the knight.
Yeah, I mean, white goes rook e8. Because I think if you go rook d8, then I'll just go f6, and then I'm going king f7 afterwards. So, so rook e8. So the idea is really that you're going to take on f8 and go rook e7, you know, and be a pawn up. And so I guess you play rook a7 here.
Okay. Could you counterattack?
Yeah. I'm nervous about that one, but it might be wrong. It's just yeah. I mean, what I just want to do, I just want to go f6 and king f7. Basically, that's the idea.
Yeah.
And so, if you go knight g5, for example,
yeah,
I go. I'll probably go f6. Knight e6, king f7. Yeah, I don't know. Rook f8, maybe. And I can choose. I mean, I could even go knight f8 here, and I'm not sure about your pieces on the on h6 and f8. You know, I mean, it could easily turn out not to be very good at all for white. This, at the very least, I've got rook c7. You know, and I'm going to pick up the c3 pawn, and probably after the d4 pawn. So, you know, that's possible.
Yeah.
I mean,
how does that get out? You guys, do you just try and take?
If you go knight h7, I could. I mean, I could even go g5. You know, that's also possible. And I've got very good chances of winning your pieces here. So
with that kind of thing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know, but I think I would assume it feels to me like black escapes there. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think that's.
You can get away with it.
Yeah, but maybe it could well be that you say that Theo's just thinking that h6 is safer.
Yeah.
Because you haven't got any problems there, and you know, you've got either knight d5 or knight e4 coming in. So rook b5 was played, and now knight e4.
Hitting that.
So I mean, we're attacking c3 and f2. So we've got a fork there. So it's quite. This is quite unclear. Yeah, I do think that. Yeah, I have a feeling that the line I suggested, you know, just to give the b pawn back, and just play you know, an ending with a better structure there would have been probably better, because this is quite black's very active here.
Yeah.
I do wonder. Lots of tactics around here. I don't think black's worse, to be honest. I don't think black's worse at all. No. I'm not really quite sure what white is doing here. For white, this is a little bit unfortunate. I mean, you win a pawn, you know, and then all of a sudden, actually, you got quite a difficult decision here. And I think that the main problem as well is trying to work out, should I be playing to make this safe, or should I be striving for the win? You know, it's not very clear really, and I think that's definitely a bit of a problem in this position. But yeah, I think in principle it's quite balanced, I think.
Okay. All right. Let's see another one we haven't seen yet. Harry Zheng, Lego Children.
Yeah, I must have said, Whimsical Jam. He really put up a great defense yesterday, didn't he? It was he was quite a bit worse out the opening, and then yeah, put up a great defense. He's doing sort of the same here, really.
He was playing Arjun Kalani, who I understand is playing a junior tournament today, and there was a bit of a clash. So
okay,
that's why we're not seeing him in the pairings today.
Great.
Lego Children against Amir Abbas.
Righty.
Let's see. Other one.
This was just some sort of Scandinavian.
Okay. Thank you, Hellraise. Okay, I think it's Theo's problem. He thinks in his mind he'll play Arjun tomorrow. Okay. They're going to be playing in the under-14s. Oh, so it's the rematch. A rematch tomorrow in the junior section between Theo and Arjun.
Okay. So Queen d4 played, because obviously b takes c5 would have allowed bishop takes h7. Queen d4 hitting the bishop on f4. So what can we do here? What ideas have we got?
Drop back. Oh, yes, he's done it already. Lego Children dropped his bishop back and defending that pawn on c5.
Yeah. So I guess black could play Queen b2 here. Because, yeah, I mean, if we go rook b1, I just take on a2, and you know, he's done it, yeah. And that actually looks just pretty decent for black, really. I'm guessing rook b1, queen a2. C takes b6, A takes b6, Rook takes b6, but black should be fine in that position.
Just going to a draw, do you think?
I think so. The only thing that you have to watch out with these things is obviously you've got pieces quite a bit away from the king's side. So you know, would white maybe have some sacks somewhere? But I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that move bishop e3. I don't know whether we could have done something more active. You know,
have a little look.
Can have a little look, yeah. I don't know whether we could have. I mean, I really feel that bishop e3 is just, you know, it's not gonna be the winning move, you know, put it that way. So what ideas have we got here? I mean, queen g4 is maybe an idea. It's a little bit odd, but it could be an idea.
All right. What about you're doing a trap, aren't you? Because if I go I was going to say e5, but yeah, you can just do some kind of.
I'll go queen f5 then.
Yeah.
And you can't go g6 then. So I think that's probably quite nasty. I think I'm probably winning that one. Obviously, if you go h5, I go queen takes h5. So
yeah.
Although is that clear? Yeah, probably. I mean, I was wondering. I go h5, queen h5, and then g6, but I've got queen h6. So I'm probably doing fine there. Yeah, and the idea is simply that after queen g4, well, I mean, you could probably just take with a queen on c5. That's the only problem, and that's not particularly. Suddenly it doesn't.
Going here.
Well, there's no threat really, is there? So, so maybe I should have a look at bishop d6 instead of queen g4. It's possible. So I'm threatening bishop f8, of course. And then what's black going to do here? So I guess rook fd8, for example. Yeah. Let's say that. C3, queen d5, bishop e4. It's not so easy to. I have the feeling that black's, you know, unless you find some lovely little tactical move, then it's really just the case that black's, you know, sort of fine.
Yeah. All right then, rook lift.
Rook lift. Well. Okay. Let's see it then. Check. Queen h5. Wow. Not bad at all. So b takes c5, we're going bishop h7 check, right?
It's a thought, but I don't know if it works.
It's very dangerous. I mean, king h7, I go queen h5 check. And then king g8, I've got rook h3. And I don't think that black is escaping
because this on-priest bishop is defending that square.
Yeah, that's a very nice idea. So I mean, I don't know whether after rook e3, whether I could just play a move like g6, for example. And then just ask you, you know, what are you doing? What are you doing next?
Yeah. And you're expecting me to have a follow-up. All right, c3.
All right, I'll go queen d5, maybe.
And oh, you're attacking that. That's I have to go here, do I?
Well,
this might be all unraveling.
I'm not sure actually, because what you could do is to go something like queen f1 and I go b takes c5. You go bishop c7.
Okay. Rook.
And then bishop e4.
Clever. That looks good.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure because I could go queen, let's say queen g5. Bishop takes b7. And then rook f8.
Okay. So the question is how to save our bishops.
Our bishops, yeah, I don't know. This is going a little bit far, really. It's but I think if you're going to try something, then bishop d6. I mean, maybe you should play instead of queen f1, you should play queen g4. I mean, there's other ideas like this, and then you stop the queen from being active. But maybe you should be doing something like this because, yeah, I think bishop d6 is the only attempt to make something of this position. And I think after bishop e3, it should just be, it'll be very equal.
Yeah. Okay. Let's check back in on some of these other games we've seen before. So what about McCarthy Stone? Let's see. This was Jonathan Payne as black.
All right. So we've got this. So, yeah, it was a Scandinavian. And clearly Jonathan has replied to g5 with knight h5, which is always a bit of a risky one.
Okay, so g5, knight h5.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, he had to put his other knight on d5 there, really. I'm wondering. Okay. So very aggressive play from White there. I could have considered here just taking on f4. Actually, that would not have been necessarily silly.
With a knight like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm even wondering whether, after knight takes f4, I could just take on f4 and go for the opposite coloured bishops because your bishop on f8 is already tied down.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering whether I can just, I don't know whether I've got enough control, but I might have enough control just to keep you completely pinned down. I'm not sure, But anyway, White played d takes c5.
All right.
c3, queen e7, king b8, f4. I guess black played bishop b4, yeah. Bishop d4, bishop a5. Okay, trying to exchange off the bishop there, being very persistent about that. Yeah, might have played. No, I'm not sure. It's not easy, this position for White. I mean, you feel like White's got a lot of stuff going for him, but he's got a lot of space to defend, and that knight on h5 is out on the rim, of course. But if he does get back into play via g3 f5, then Black's suddenly all right, So quite difficult positions to play for White. Oh, okay.
What's he trying to do?
Well, I mean, this is yeah.
Not taken.
Hey, Decoder, how are things?
Hello.
You just bishop a7 was threatened, so you had to do something about it. Okay, c5. So this is not bad. I mean, White's actually managed to get. I mean, Black's got his exchange of rooks, but of bishops rather. But White's got all the light squares now, so pretty nice. The only problem is that, this pawn f4 is a little bit weak. And again, your space, it's hard to keep control. I mean, all you need is to get your queen on f3 and your bishop on g2, and you're doing great. But it's going to be very hard to do that. Queen e3, queen d8.
Yeah. It's looking like... well, Black's got this D file.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. It feels like Black, looking at the whole game, you feel that Black should be much, much worse. But I'm not really sure that Black is.
I think I prefer Black, funnily enough.
Good
Don't know
lord.
why.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not quite sure why it does, to be honest. It's. I mean, maybe you need to just play a. Maybe you just need to play quietly with you know, something like A3 or something to give yourself your king some room. But we can go rook D3, queen D4. You know, it's not clear. Not clear, this one. I don't really know. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think that that White's much better here. You know, I think it's one of those surprising ones, I think.
All right, let's check back in on Harry Grieve.
Okay, so that's looking pretty good for black. Exchange up.
Yes.
Pass pawn on pass c pawn. So
do you remember where we left it? We did see this one before.
yeah, we'll have to queen b1, 10 queen b1.
10 queen b1. Ah, yes. Okay.
Okay, so bishop a6 was played. I thought bishop d7 was theory, but bishop a6 is decent. Queen d7, rook d1, rook fd8 and b4. Yeah, it's very simple from black. I mean, you're just going to roll your pawns down. So white did his best just to, but yeah, you just end up losing.
That's how the exchange happened.
Thanks, Guitar Man. Yeah, no, it's true. Positions are complicated, really. There's so much of it is just really guessing on the day, and you know, just trying to make reasonable sounding judgments. Really, it's. I think, you know, the best practical players are the people who can, you know, sort of make decisions they're not sure about, but still keep confidence in them. You know, and I think the worst thing that you can do is to always be questioning yourself. You know, it's very important at some stage just be able to say that's the best decision I can make, and I'm going to make the most of it and the best of it. You know, so it's. But this one is completely winning. So c2, c1 is happening, and there's nothing that white.
Yeah. This one's, yes, that c pawn is making it.
Yeah, this one's very clear.
Draw, can you? You can't stop it. There isn't.
No. This one's going all the way.
Gone. Okay. Who didn't we see yet? Rock Troll. Should we check again? Ooh.
Well, somewhere he's lost an H pawn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's lost 2 pawns. But is black losing this?
Where did we leave this one? Do you remember? Something around here?
No. Way
before.
So it was a question of whether to play f4 or bishop f4. And I wanted bishop f4, and because I was.
I said, I bet you Rock Troll's going to play f4.
Indeed.
I've seen enough Rock Troll.
Because I was a bit afraid that that with f4, yeah, it's a move that you play when you know you're better, and I was afraid that white was actually just a tad worse here. So what do we get? Yeah, so black just played bishop c5, e3, takes rook c2. So yeah, this is very
yeah.
Castles.
Yeah, that's nice.
Bishop f3, bishop e4. So to be honest, I think Kristen's done really well to get out of this with just 2 pawns, to be honest, because this looks terminal.
There's the H pawn. Oh gosh.
There's the B pawn.
There's 2 pawns.
Oh, that was clever. Yeah, so forced exchange of rooks. This is not clearly lost, this one. It's not clearly lost.
But black.
There definitely are chances. There are definitely chances here for white to hold this. Because you know, obviously these B pawns are not particularly useful. White's got 2 bishops, and well, creating a pass pawn on the king side is going to encounter some resistance from the bishops. So This is quite a tough technical task for black. Will require
I've just noticed that it looks like Jonathan's won already.
Oh, he got the rook d1 check. Yeah, I was wondering about that one.
Where did we? Because we left it just a second ago.
Yeah.
Can you remember which move we were?
Yeah. So rook d4. 32.
Rook d4 here.
So queen e3, queen d8, and bishop takes, queen f3. He went rook d2, but white blundered here with rook f2.
Okay.
Takes, queen d1.
Hang on. Okay, checkmate. Well done, Jonathan.
Yeah, that was a bit. Why was a bit of...
Did you see this? There's the system comments. Oh damn, well played.
Yeah, no, it was. I think White was a bit unlucky. Really, it was. Felt like White was doing all the pressing, all the pushing around, and it somehow ended up in a position that wasn't really that obvious at all. You know, so it's yeah. But yeah, hard luck White. Well played Black.
Right, a Waldsman and Dionysian. We did see this at the start, but it's probably way back.
So it's Black's a piece up.
Yes.
But quite a sharp position, this one.
Was it around? I can't remember exactly where.
No,
we
were. It was after 6a5 we saw it.
6a5. Okay. Oh, but takes not at AlphaZero.
No, it's all pretty solid so far. d5. Ooh, okay. Queen d2, queen f6. Wow. And then White decided to go for it. Big style.
Oh, gosh. Knight takes. Okay.
Takes. I'm not totally convinced by this, but certainly full marks for creativity and bravery. So he went c6 here. Wow, what is happening here? And bishop f5 has been played. So I'm guessing that, well, this is totally, wait a minute. Oof. Wow. I mean, there's loads of moves here. I mean, knight d4 is the you know the obvious one. But there's other lines. I mean, I could go c takes b7 here. And after bishop c2, I go d6.
Threatening this one.
Yeah, because c takes d6, I go bishop d5, which will be terminal. So you can go f3. But then I could just take on f3.
I think you were going to take on...
yeah, I can do it either way. I mean, I can take on f3 first as well and then take on c7. Doesn't matter which way. Or I take on c7 first. I don't know why this felt, you know. So I mean, after d6, you could go c6.
Do you think, is this theory? Or is this is very creative from White, isn't it?
There's no theory. This is just chaos.
Okay.
So c6 is possible. And then, I don't know, maybe okay. What do I do here? Because bishop c6, I would go knight b4 then. Maybe. Because I cover d5 in that way.
Yeah.
This is still pretty...
You might come here.
Possible. This is just a total mess.
How lovely. I like
this. Yeah, I mean, what you could also do, instead of going c takes b7, So instead of that, you could also, yeah, I mean, knight d4 is still interesting, but you could just go d6 straight away. So I don't know whether that makes a difference. I mean, you could go b takes c6 then as white. Yeah, I was thinking of d takes c7, but maybe that's not. Maybe that's just not. I could maybe even go knight takes c7 then. That maybe it's not this that clever. So I mean, c takes b7 is probably the main line, and otherwise knight d4. Maybe just have a quick look at knight d4.
Let's look at knight d4 as well. Yeah.
I mean, you should do something about this. Probably should go b takes c6 there, I think.
Try and stop these pawns at least.
Yeah. Because if I go d takes c6 now, you go knight takes b4. You know, you cover d5 at least.
Yeah, it looks like black's defending.
Well, I don't know really, because I could go. You know, I've got stuff like knight takes f5 and bishop h3, for example, or even just bishop takes c7.
Yeah, bishop c7.
Yeah, and I'm not 100% sure. I don't think that that black's better in any way here. So you know, I mean, maybe black's lost here, because I mean, we've also got g4 as an idea.
Oh, look, this is lovely. This position. Where was this? I'm impressed with it all.
Yeah.
Look,
so I mean, maybe knight.
Did you spend ages on it? Move 21. We can tell if I go back to the game. We can tell if he spent ages on 21.95. Yeah, he did. I suppose you would.
It's been quite a long time. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Quite interesting. I mean, I don't know. No, it's pretty good. It's always going to be pretty good compensation. I mean, I think it's a very nice idea. Very nice idea indeed. Certainly must have been shocking for black there. But yeah,
just to put queens off as the follow-up.
Yeah, I mean, maybe white should have gone something like c6.
Okay, it's gone d6.
I don't think that's the best move, but I'm not. Yeah, again, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, what I was worried about in that was after d6, I would go b takes c6.
I'll just get back to this. B takes c6,
which covers d5, and then if you go bishop takes c6, I go knight b4.
Yeah,
and I cover d5 again with tempo. That's what I'm sort of worried about. Oh no, you got knight takes c2. Sorry. We haven't taken the thingy yet.
Yeah,
you haven't taken the knight yet. Sorry.
No.
Okay, well then that's rather more complicated then.
So d6. B takes c6.
Yeah, that's what we look at. Bishop c6 now, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose you could consider going just c takes d6.
Here.
Yeah. Bishop d5 check.
Yeah.
Then rook f7. Because you are actually hitting two pieces. You're hitting e5 and a bishop on f5. But you could just go knight d4 here as white rather.
Yeah.
And after takes now, I go knight f5.
Yeah.
You're not getting out of the pin, actually. I mean, that's the problem.
Yeah.
So let's go back to d6 then.
So d6.
All right. So
I agree, Niall. Very cool position.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know, actually. I have the feeling that this is all going to go horribly wrong somehow.
For black?
Yeah. I mean, maybe could you go something like bishop g7?
Okay. Right. Bishop g7. An unexpected move in this position.
But yeah, it's a
Kind
little
of want to take everything and then can you take one piece at a time? That's the problem. Well, what about check then? We'll do our check, our usual check.
Okay, I'll go king h8.
Better take on g7.
I'll take back with a knight then.
Okay.
Not clear. Not clear, because I'm trying to destroy all your pawns now.
Okay, bishop g7.
I mean, if you go knight d4, which looks, and I wanted to go c takes d6 there.
All right.
And bishop d6, I want to go bishop takes d4. Again, I'm not 100% convinced about this, but yeah, takes. I've got 3 pieces. You can probably go b5, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to save this. You're going to be very lucky, aren't you? With black. I mean, you can try b takes c6, b takes a6. And it's not 100% clear. But still, you know, I mean, I would expect this to be just to be winning for white somehow. You know, it's a huge pawn. You'll get there somehow, I think. Bishop c8, I go rook d1, so yeah, a7 then, and then rook d1. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure, but I think, yeah, I think d6 is good. I think knight d4 was also very strong, you know, on move 26, but I think d6 also looks good.
Okay, let's just quickly see what the it's actually done what? So d6, bc.
Yeah, that was probably quite a good interposition as well.
Bishop takes
d6, now bishop g7.
Now this bishop g7 defense.
Okay, but now he's gone b5, which I think is probably a good move.
B5.
I took it off. Oh, took with a king.
Yes.
Oh, taking with a king feels wrong, but okay.
Because of rook e7 checks and things, I suppose.
Yeah, and also you get this knight into g7 somehow, you know. But okay, knight b8 now is probably interesting.
So knight b8. I know we can take.
Yeah, then we're going to double your pawns.
Yeah,
and then also actually then take your knight on c2.
C2 on free. So okay, so knight d4.
Yeah, then I just take on d6. I think White's lost the control here. Something's gone a bit wrong there.
All right. We better check then. That's our only choice.
All right, so king f6, let's say.
King f6, and then we take here.
Okay, I'll take the knight on c2.
Will you? Yes. All right. Come back.
Yeah, but I think it's getting a bit
not working.
I go bishop g6.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be able to give up my knight for one of those pawns, and then maybe you're making a draw there, but it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I mean, you can go G4, for example. And I go knight G7, and then you go G5 check. But I go king E6. You take my knight on G7, and I go king D6, and yeah, I mean, you're probably going to make a draw as white, maybe, but I think knight D4 was the better move, to be honest. I think that had more, that had maybe more potential there. I think
instead of
D6.
D6.
Or move 26.
Yeah.
But I'm not. The thing you could have done after B takes C6 is to go. Was that clever? B5. It's just that passed A pawn is very fast, So if you go CB, I go bishop takes D. I go bishop D5 check. And so you go rook F7, and then I was hoping, well, or maybe just DC. Possible knight takes.
Knight takes pawn. Right, let's take you back in.
Hello.
I lost you for a moment there.
No worries. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, bishop C7, bishop C2. And I should, if there's any justice in the world, I'd be winning something, but I'm not 100% sure. Rook E7, there's bishop G6.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. I'm not sure at all, to be honest.
Oh, what if you check?
King G7.
Here and King G7.
Yeah, because even here I could come King G7 here. Yeah. Bishop F7, bishop D6.
Yeah. Bishop E5.
Knight F6.
Yeah. Everything's pinned, but
yeah, no, I know.
Not enough.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, because it's possible you could just go rook B8. No. You'll just move the rook away. So yeah.
All right. I'm going to look at a different game because we could look at this all night.
Yeah, no, we could.
Let's check back in on Rock Troll, the board one encounter. Oh yes, black was 2 pawns up.
Oh, good lord! Rock Troll is letting black take the bishop on B4, and black's not taking it. Okay, interesting. Is that really? G5. It could be true. Could well be true that that's not a win. Although surprises me a little bit. Would probably have. So what's that black going to try? Maybe bishop H3. Bishop H3, bishop G4. Ooh.
Yeah. And try and get the knight in on C4, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether that's doing anything in particular. It's, I mean, at some stage you've got to organize H6 and G5, and try and come around there. So I'm wondering whether you should try and eject the bishop from the D1 H5 diagonal and play something like bishop H3 to G4.
Yeah.
That would be my sort of first attempt, really. Play the bishop round h3 to g4, and then afterwards, yeah, you don't need to hurry about it. Of course, you can, black can play around quite a bit. That's another decent idea. So, okay.
Looks like Rock Troll rather optimistically offered a draw. It says Peshka the Great to find a draw.
Yeah, no, there's there's no risk of black losing this one. So, I'm not quite sure what
Hi, Blue Grey Haze.
Yeah, I think I came across him in Holland as well, actually.
He's at school in England, isn't he?
Ah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe he's older than that now. I don't know. He was in school, and
no, I think he's still quite young. I think he's about 14, isn't he? Still.
Let me check that. He is. He was born in 2007. Yeah, so he's very young.
Yeah, I mean, he's 2414. It's pretty,
incredible, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, if you switch federations, that's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Loose in the northeast.
But I'm not sure.
Oh, that's very exciting.
But I'm not sure. I don't know whether he has. I think he's still playing for Holland, to be honest. But
yeah,
I'm not sure. So
I know you can qualify for the British if you've just been living in England since a certain period of time. So that's fine from that way. Yeah, Hellraise. He was always Dutch, and maybe he still is. I can also check that in the background.
So I mean, I'm guessing that black is just going to go at some stage h6 and g5, and then try and get him king to g6, h5, h4, and then we will see where life takes us, whether this is going to be sufficient or not. Bishop b2 is an interesting one. After knight c4, is white going to take on c4? I don't know. Is that because then I could get my king to a4, and then afterwards, no, that would probably be drawn. Actually, I don't think that black can play. I don't think that black can allow knight c4, bishop takes c4. I mean, you could risk it and just see whether white does it or not. But I think that that knight c4 looks vaguely drawn.
A bit too opposite coloured bishopy.
Yeah.
It's still Dutch. I just checked it. Still Dutch on the FIDE website.
Okay. So.
He's done it.
He's done it.
So, and straight away.
Yeah, I mean, straight away takes on c4. I would be. It's one of those ones where I'd be sort of tempted with white just not to do anything. I'm not. Yeah, I wouldn't be 100% convinced. But okay, this is a sort of a kind of a crucial decision there. The steps method. Yeah, the Dutch steps method.
What's the steps method?
It's a whole structured program of chess training for juniors. So
seems to work, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It's I don't know how. I mean, it's been going for quite a while. I don't know how many juniors are the product of it. Actually,
Yeah. What about those? I know I'm just having a blank, but the really strong Dutch. The family of 5 of them.
Oh, the Van Foreest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've no idea whether that's that's also they're also the product of that. But in principle, it's just a good way to teach chess and the very a structured way of. Oh, wait a minute. Isn't c3 possible here?
Ooh. So c3. King can't come back, so the bishop has to come back, and then we just go to c2 and leave it there, and it's a bit more scary than it was.
Yeah, because then afterwards, But I think this must be. I think it must be losing now.
Very structured and dry, says Hellraise.
Yeah. No, that is the point. It is supposed to be quite. Yeah, but this is just lost now for Rock Troll, I think. Yeah, I just go C2, and I go King E8 now. Oh, King C6. Okay, actually, even King C6, indeed. Well, King C6. I'm going Bishop E7 now, aren't I? I was thinking more King E8 and then just go H6 G5 and then get past pawns on two sides. Oh, I don't think that's the one. I don't think that's a good one. I think you needed to go behind the pawn.
So I guess King C4 now. Yeah,
now you're going to go H6 G5, I think. I mean, I think this must be lost. I mean, it can't be anything else but lost, this one.
Yeah.
King E3, and then we just go.
Because that bishop has to stay there to defend as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to go H6. I mean, actually, White's just going to end up in Zugzwang now because we're going to go King 3, A2, B1.
Yeah,
and then you won't have any more move at some stage. So I'll play the pawn to B5 as well to make sure he can't go A4. So, oh, Rock Troll, you were close. You were close.
All right.
Indeed,
another thing we haven't looked at.
I did have to laugh though because about the Van Foreest because they were saying what a great chess dynasty it was. But I've got a tournament which the great H.E. Atkins won in Amsterdam in 1899, I think. And I think that one of the Van Foreests ended the tournament with I think it was 0 out of 15 or something. So it was not a good result really. But so I think that was the one that Atkins won with 100%. It was one of H.E. Atkins, I think 9 times British champion, and fantastic player, but just an amateur. He and had breaks, of 10 years, and then came back and won the British Championship. But a very strong player. But he had a rare excursion to the continent and won a tournament in Amsterdam with a 100% score.
Speed elephant.
That's a great name. That really is a great name.
I think it's Emil Steiners.
Ah, yes. So, in principle, you would say that black is winning. So, I think probably Queen C3 here. And then afterwards we go A3. That would be the cleanest way to do it. Yeah. That is just winning.
Okay. Fine. If that's all it is, that's all it is.
So, I mean, actually, I think there were back in the day. Actually, I'm just thinking of the Van Foreest again. I think there were several Van Foreests even at that time. So really a lot of people who played chess. Can't think of another family with quite so many chess players over quite so many generations. Actually, it's there's no one in England like that. I don't think.
Haslingers had a lot in their own generation.
Yeah, Haslingers, that's true. There were a lot of them indeed.
Well, 5 of them really good at junior level.
Yeah. Of course, the Littlewoods, there were quite a few of those as well.
Oh, yeah. Fred Yates is from your hometown.
Yeah. Oh, right.
We did a trip to his grave, wasn't it?
We went to just on my website. There's a trip. Natasha very kindly drove how many 100 miles to fulfill one of my dreams of seeing Fred Yates's graveyard. So we took a very nice photo with one of his greatest games, with a chessboard with one of his greatest games there. So
84-year-old Jack Mises defeated 86-year-old Dirk Van Foreest.
Jack Mises was incredible, actually. He kept going for years and years, that guy. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, I would just give away that bishop simply. Just don't worry about it. Just go Queen C3 and A3.
Oh, really? You're just going to queen this A pawn. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Okay, so Guitar Man, why do you know that Fred Yates is from your hometown? Because I can see a because ... You're not going to say that there's a pluck. Oh, his high school became my infant school. Oh, right.
Oh, wow.
It's yeah, I was really yeah, I was always impressed with Fred Yates. Difficult life, very yeah, always struggling with money. You know, he was oh, because of the video on YouTube.
Okay,
Oh,
excellent.
fantastic! It's actually a lovely cemetery, that place. Very quite picturesque actually, and it's a lovely lovely place for a gravestone there, just next to a huge, big, lovely tree actually. So we also tried to find H.E. Atkins' gravestone, but didn't manage to find that. That is apparently in an absolutely massive graveyard in Leicester. But there don't seem to be any records to really help you find it. And yeah, it's so huge, that thing. That whereas the one where Fred Yates is buried is yeah, is very small and very nice indeed. It's oh wow, that's great, Guitar Man. That's really nice.
So now Oliver Stubbs and Whimsical Jam. Draw, yeah.
Draw. Russian technique says draw. Yes, that's right. They had the Atkins Memorial in Leicester. That's right. So,
Hello.
Rock roll. Oh dear me.
I did follow your game quite a bit.
But it's well, if you're gonna have a bit of a zombie brain mush, then best to have it against the top seed. I think that's and still all to play for tomorrow. So keep on going, Rock Troll. But we thought you were going to draw. We thought you were going to make a draw in that one. So hard luck with that one. That was.
But you still got very good chances to qualify, right? Because
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So this one we think a draw. Let's see checkmate a lot. Oh, another rook and pawn ending.
Poof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So equal pawns. Black obviously better. I mean, I guess we should be swinging a rook. We'd like to swing a rook over to the other side, but of course, if we go
that way,
yeah. But we'll probably get hit by rook d5 then, which will block things a little bit. So I'm wondering whether we should try and be a little bit cleverer here. I mean, c6 would be the ideal, but then you'll probably get hit by rook d1 then, and d6 will hang at some stage. Maybe not immediately, but when you try and move your rook back, then you'll get hit by rook d1. So,
well, what if we could do it immediately there, couldn't we? And then if rook d1, do we get away with taking on f3?
Yeah, we do, but white just waits. And then it's when you play rook g5, you go rook fd2 then. So not quite sure that that's going to work. We need a bit of technique here. Yeah, so I mean, what could happen here? So I suppose if white goes rook d5 now, which feels like quite a natural idea, we could go c6 now.
Should we get a board? So rook d5, c6. Okay, and so white could take.
Indeed. Takes and king g2, I suppose. But okay, we go rook h4. I mean, could go G4. I mean, that's. But I'm a bit worried that FG followed by rook takes
G4
F4.
instead.
Yeah, no, that's no G4. I don't think that's going to work. Just F takes G4 there. So yeah, so rook somewhere. I'm not sure. Maybe H5, maybe H7 or something like that. Are we going to win this?
Well, how would we do it if we were planning to?
I mean, King E5 and threatening G4 might be an idea. I mean, probably we probably put the rook on H6, I suppose, after King G2.
Yeah.
Just to cover D6. Then we're going to play. We're going to play maybe King E5, threaten G4. Because then if we sort of take on G4, then we go King E4. At least our king's active.
Yeah. So white would it be crazy to just defend with that to stop?
No, it's just that then the H3 pawn is a real target, so your king's really going to be tied down to it. I mean, maybe somehow you swing over the rook to the queen side and play B5 and invade through there. I don't know. It's a good rook ending, but it's not easy to win this one.
Yeah. Okay. This was one we said was a draw. Okay.
Draw.
Lego children. Let's see Lego children. So Lego children.
Yeah, we thought this one would be a draw.
This is where we were, has it not?
Yeah. There's quite a few moves. Move 32. Just click on move 32. Yeah.
That's where we are now.
So black's a pawn up here, actually. Black's probably winning, I suppose. Yeah. Black was very careful with H5, just giving his king a bit of room. Yeah, this should be winning for black, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's white, I suppose. White may go Queen B3 or something. That probably would be the most awkward. But but I'll go King G8, I suppose, simply. Yeah, King G8.
And then
this is really good chances to be winning for black, because the white king's very weak as well. It's quite exposed. So I would have thought that black should manage to win this one. Nice attempt from Ami Abbas there, because it was looking pretty even. Queen C4 there. Okay, so probably King G8 now, I guess. Just hitting the bishop on F8.
I've just noticed Dionysian has won against Waldsman. That was this one with all the
hard luck, Waldsman.
with all the pawn sacrifice, the piece sack in the opening.
Oh good lord, actually, but this was.
So how did we get there? So we were something like this. Where did we get to? Yeah,
let's have a look. So
something like that.
So B5 was played, knight B8, and then knight D4. Okay, knight takes C6, knight F5, D takes C7. Wow, look at that!
Nice.
Incredible.
Oh, and not just queening.
Rook E5, knight B7. So this is white is probably winning here.
Yeah.
White is probably winning here. So. But white must have won this one, right?
I did win, yes.
Ah, okay. Okay, then. Wow, well done. Incredible. Amazing. 4
pawns against knight, yeah.
Yeah.
What a nice game.
Incredible game. Yeah, no, I mean, that deserves, that deserves, well.
Spencer Lawrence. I'm just
a brilliancy prize.
Spencer Lawrence. Dionysian 2020. Okay. He's played Lawrence Webb in the first round, Indy Southcott Moyers, and Ryan Boyks before this. Okay.
Incredible.
Cool. All right. So what else have we? Are there any? Haven't seen. Hi, Woldsman. That was a really interesting game you had.
That was fantastic. Really fantastic. We spent ages on your game and we couldn't make we couldn't make head nor tail of it, to be honest.
You didn't see either of his sacrifices. We didn't see his sacrifices either. We were like, what's this? But hi, Gigantobear.
Hey.
Okay. Let's check Richard Chang, because he had some good games earlier this tournament as well. That's All Guns Blazing.
But he had a lot of endings, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, this bishop to be honest, it was amazing, Wolfsman. I mean, this knight takes c5 was completely bananas, but yeah, I think it was actually very good, you know. So I think it's just unlucky, that one. He didn't really do very much wrong. He just played like an absolute genius on the day. So yeah, All Guns Blazing has just had very, very long end games in all of his games. So oh, wait a minute, knight d4 maybe. Oh no, sorry, that would allow. Sorry, no, that wouldn't have been. Well, I'm not sure. Who knows? Bishop b1. We should really go e2 at some stage. We shouldn't give away that e pawn just like that. What a complicated position. I'm not sure about knight h6 actually. My goodness.
So what a complicated position. Is Epic Chess. George Lingy.
So what is White going to do here? Yes. I think so.
Yes,
no, I expanded my view. Did you make your screen bigger, Natasha?
No, I think I don't know. I'm now a member of chess.com, so I wonder if that's
no
anything to do with it.
Okay, but I certainly increased mine yesterday and increased the resolution of the web page, and that was or the zoom of my web page. But maybe Natasha's done the same.
Yes, not deliberately, but I do have the names. Yeah.
Oh, knight f5. Wow. I think Black's done this. I think Black should have been fine, but I think maybe played just a little bit too quickly and now struggling here. So obviously bishop f5 allows knight d4 check. That's sneaky.
Even so, don't we still pick up the b pawn?
Oh! That can't be good, surely. That can never be good. I'm sure White could have played for a win somehow.
Oh, I would have gone king d3, so it's not check.
Okay, but now we can go knight g7.
Gambit is suggesting rook f1.
Yeah.
Oh, instead of taking, I guess.
But this is still quite. Theo got his draw. Yay!
Oh, well done, Theo. Yes, rook and pawn ending.
All right. So what are we doing here? I mean, if I go knight g7, we've got two possibilities for White. There's rook h1, which obviously blocks things. Oh, God. Knight g7, rook h1, a4, king g5, a3, king g6, a2, rook a1. Now I think this is probably not going to work. I think because rook h1. I think, yeah, but I think if I go to knight f8, I'm just going knight e6 check. I go king f5, knight f8. I go king f6.
Oh, takes and then king g6.
Yeah. And I think, well, I mean, the question is whether after king f6, for example, if I go a4.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that. It's all gone horribly wrong. Everything's gone. All guns blazing. All guns blazing. Right. Oh, we've got rook h1.
Okay, so I mean, I can go. Well, we can get to something similar. So,
Yeah.
so if I go knight e6 check, oh, he's played it. King e5 or king f5, knight f8. Okay, so I go king f6, for example.
Yeah.
And now he goes a4.
Yeah. I'll still put it on the board.
So a4, king f7. And then I go, so yeah, b5, b4 isn't far enough. So if I go knight d7 here now.
Okay. Attack the knight.
Yeah, okay. And then I'll go just knight e5 check. Now rook d1, I go knight e5 check.
Yeah, well, then we have to go away from the pawn, don't we?
I'll go
there.
Yeah, I'll go knight g4 check.
And here.
I'll go knight e5.
Then we're repeating.
I mean, this must be winning for white, would have thought, but maybe I go rook d5 then, actually. That's probably the move. I must be able to get you away from there. So this looks like, I think this is probably going to be winning. I'm sure black lost some tempi just in that phase beforehand, you know. It's, yeah, maybe rook e1 is better, Gigantobear. I think you're right. It's probably more precise.
So here,
yeah,
rook e1.
Because if you go a3, I'll go king g6, I think.
And check.
King h6.
Yeah.
And a2, I'll go rook e8.
We don't mind if they're queen, because we're going to checkmate.
Indeed. So something like this, probably. Yeah, I mean, this must be working for white. Quite intriguing, actually, this ending.
So how did they? Oh, what have they done? They did king f6. Sorry, they had this.
Yeah, when rook e1, that, in fact, and yeah, just there we are.
Is this winning now? Must be.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's a rook and pawn ending, but where one side has got the rook, so always the good ones.
So that is looking good for epic chess.
That was the famous comment of Jan Gustafsson that said the rook and pawn endings I prefer are the ones where I have the rook and the opponent doesn't. So
okay, let's see. Speed elephant.
Oh, good lord! Black was just winning this.
Yes,
but it's all gone.
We were wanting black to give up the piece and queen the a pawn, and black has given up the piece, but not managed to queen the a pawn yet.
Yeah. So, but what is happening here? I'm not sure. It might be that black is still considerably better stroke winning here. All right. So we've really only got one check, which is queen g4 check. But now I guess that king h6. Well, queen g5 is also possible. Then I go knight f4 check, which starts worrying you a little bit. King h6, I would go queen h3 check and then pick up the queen with the knight fork. So that's not good. So we should probably go king h6 there. But then I'm going to go knight f4 with white.
Threatening this one.
Indeed. So knight f4. Well, actually, could I even go knight f5, actually?
Say again? Knight.
Knight g3, sorry, knight g3.
Oh, threatening a fork.
That is actually quite nasty. It's just that the point is, you know, again, I'm just vaguely thinking of stuff. But if I go, if you go Queen F6 check, for example, which is quite natural. Yeah, but A1 Queen, yeah, that's right. Then I go Knight F5 check. I mean, if you take it off, then I'll just take on F5, A1 Queen, but I go Queen E6 check and Queen D6. So I'm not. And if you go King H7 here, I go Queen H5 check. When I'm getting a draw here because King G8, I go Queen E8 check.
Okay.
So I'm not quite sure. After Knight G3.
So Knight G3. So you're going to put Queen F6, Knight F5, Queen takes F5.
Yeah, I mean Queen G5. Queen G5. I've just got Knight F5 check. King G6, Knight E7, and you're never ever going to get out of that. Yeah, you're never ever going to get out of that. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, Queen F7 check might be more subtle. I keep control of a few more squares. And I'm also threatening Queen takes D5, but I go Knight F5, King H7, and then I was thinking Queen
H4.
4 check, but here could you, because King G8 I've got Queen D8 check, you know, which is sort of, which feels like black's not going to, but you could go King G6 here.
G6, and then
or maybe I just go Queen G4 check, King F6, and then King F4.
Ooh, King F4. So if Queen D5, we've got Queen G7, mate.
Yeah.
So if queens.
Queen G5, mate.
Queen G5, mate. Okay.
Now, Gigantobest has put it in the chat as well, actually. So this is just winning, I think, isn't it? Well, I'm not sure it's winning. I mean, you can go Queen G6, but I've got Queen H4 check, Queen E7. You know, I'll manage. I'm not going to lose this anyway. King F7, Queen E7 check, King G8, Queen D8. You know, King H7, Queen H4. It's at least a draw.
Yeah.
I've got Knight E7 check takes G6 even. King H7, I've got Knight G6. Yeah, so you have to go to F7 maybe, but I don't know. I mean, this is really. I mean, I could even go Queen C7 to B8 to.
No, and take the A pawn.
Queen C7 check. Yeah, I just pick up the A pawn. Queen C7 check, because you can't go King G8 because I've got Knight E7. So you go to F8, and I go to B8, and then I go to A7, and I pick up the A pawn. So I think Knight G3 is very awkward, is my feeling. I mean, maybe black should just bail out and take the knight on F5 with the queen. Queen is A pawn, just like Gigantobest suggested. But I think Queen E8, I go Queen takes D6 check. That's the idea, Gigantobest. So let's have a look.
Oh, here we are. Oh, no, we can't. Oh,
why when Knight F4, which I think was, I thought was less strong, but maybe still strong enough. We saw you had a good rook ending, checkmate lot. Did you manage to make that one?
Yes, he's won. Checkmate slot 1.
Ah, well played. Yeah, that was a tough one. So I'm guessing probably Queen D7. This is probably just going to end in a draw, I think. Queen D7 and that stuff. Yeah. Well played, checkmate lot. That was an important win.
Let's see. Also, Chris Duncan.
Whoa.
This is complicated too.
Oh, what is it with these positions today? Yeah, this is very complicated, actually. But if I go G7 here, what's happening?
G7.
FE.
Let me do it on the board. So G7 takes.
And King H7.
Can't stop that.
No. I mean, you could go Rook
maybe
B5. But I guess I'm a bit nervous about. Yeah, I mean, I go J8 Queen, I think, simply. And Rook takes King G6. And yeah, you're going to be hard pressed. You're going to be hard pressed to save this, I think.
Yeah.
Although that E3 pawn, I mean, it would be nice if you could just win the rook by force, but I don't think you can. Just wondering about Rook E5, actually. Whether are we actually? I mean, I can pick up the B pawn, but then I've got to deal with the pawn on E3. I could go something like Queen F4, maybe.
Yeah, pin that rook with this threatened.
Yeah, but I could go King E6, for example. I could go Queen G4 check and King F6 afterwards, maybe. I'm not sure. I think you really need to do something about that rook, because I think if the E pawn runs, then you've got nothing at all. I think that's. But is there anything better? Actually, I don't think so, because after Rook B5, oh, I could go Rook B5, King H6, couldn't I? Rook C6, Pawn B7 is a fortress. Yes, it is. Giganto Bear. But I'm not sure that black can. Not sure that black can get that very easily. But if I just went, but if I go King H6, you'll go Rook B6 check, won't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Rook B6 check, and then King G5. I'll have Rook B1 or King F7 actually. So we don't want to do that. And if I go if after Rook B5, if I go H6, then it will go Rook G5, and then black's going to queen on time. G8 Queen takes E3. So you're going to have to go for this queen ending.
Wow, another really complicated one.
Yeah, maybe after Rook E5, we should go Queen H8 or something. There must be a way to do this, but it's not easy. You need to, you'll have to spend a little bit of brain power, and Chris does not have that much time. Let's
see what he's done. So
okay.
So King H7 they did.
Yeah.
Takes here, here, here. This is what we looked at.
And Rook B5 was played. Okay, Queen C4, A6.
So white gets this pawn now.
Now I wonder. Actually, wouldn't A4 have been better? Sorry. Instead of Queen takes C4 check.
Okay. Sorry.
Would A4 have been better here? I wonder. So after A6, then A4 maybe.
Yep. What's your idea?
Well, find a move with your rook, I suppose, is my idea.
You're going to try and fork it.
Yeah.
I guess you have to go here.
Yeah, but I've got Queen B4 check, and I think Rook B6. I've got Queen C7 check, checkmate long. Oh, it's Rook B6 check. Sorry.
Oh, clever.
My exqueezes. I go King F5 then, King D7. Ooh, okay. Intriguing, because what has Chris Duncan got? I think the king's gone all the way. Here? The king's gone all the way over. This must be a draw, I think. Ooh. Although you didn't want the king. Oh, okay, that's. Queen d3. No, this is getting drawn now. I think this is just drawn now. I think we could even lose the a pawn and still be drawn.
Dragonfire thinks the black king is on the wrong side.
I don't think so. I think if we just go... I think we can just go king a7 here. Ooh, 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 that's not good. Yeah, queen d8 now. King c6.
Is a4 worth doing? Oh, not now, because I can't do that now. But
not exactly now.
Not exactly now, but like queen d5 and then a4.
Well, I would think maybe something like king c4 is possible now. Yeah, I think something like king c4 would be, because I think if black goes b5, that destroys his structure.
Okay.
I think, yeah, because now we can go queen c8 check simply. This is just winning. Rook c7, queen e6 mate. So now okay, queen e6 mate.
Wow.
Oh!
No,
oh!
No. He's missed it. Chris.
Yeah. So careful, not king d4 now, but king c3. This should be a win for white still, I think now. Giganto Bear said white should go for the draw, black should go for the draw by repetition, but a bit risky to allow mate twice. Yeah, this should be a win. This should be a win. I think. I mean, the pawns are. We need Zugzwang basically. We need to. Yeah, that's correct. We need a position after king b7, queen d6. Probably we need that one with black to move. Ooh, a4. Okay. Well, actually, yeah. The king's in a bit of a box, actually. But I think now that white can just come from behind here. Oh, that's not so good, I think. We go queen c7 check now. And then queen b6. Queen b6, black goes rook c5.
Can't get our king in at all.
No, it's sort of all gone the wrong way, really. It's so rook c5. In principle, normally, if you can get behind the pawn, then you're. So what I'm wondering is whether you could go. I'd like to have this position, but with black to move. That would be the ideal. But I'm not quite sure. Not exactly sure how to get it. Ooh.
Oh.
Black off the draw.
Oh, black off the draw. Yeah.
No. On. Yeah. Queen b4 check now. We're starting to. Oh, yeah. That's. Hey, queen e4. Queen e4.
Is it mate?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dear. Well played. These are complicated. These are really complicated. These are. But in principle, with the pawns up like that, I mean, normally it's a win. I don't know because the king's cut off like that. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, it's it should be very difficult for black if the queen can get behind the pawn.
Yeah. It's the same mate, but a couple of ranks up, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's funny, isn't it? Amazing.
Okay, so well done, Chris. There. Hard luck, George. Let's see if there are any games going on. So I think all the ones we were following have finished. Emil Steiner's was Speed Elephant. Is that one done?
They drew that one, didn't they? Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I think we're all over. Yeah, all the games are over now.
It's been pretty entertaining today. Pretty complicated.
Tell you what, the top 4 boards were all wins for black.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, and so we've got. I'll just see. They don't have the standings yet, but it's the top 12 that qualify. So you'd be wanting to have kind of 3, 2.5. So this. I can't quite work it out quickly enough, but a couple on 4, a couple on 3.5, another 2. I think you'd want to be on about 3 going into this round. Just one more round, Gigantabear. So the qualifying is decided after tomorrow. Then I think there's a rapid play or something, and then the next day the championship starts. So just 5 rounds now, and then I can't remember how many rounds for the championship. I think it's a bit longer.
7, isn't it? I think
7, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. So lots and lots of exciting games. Lovely. Peace Sacrifice game was the one that sticks in my mind the most from this round.
No, exactly. That was a hell of a game.
Lots of really good games. Yeah. Okay. We're going to top 12 and ties. Does it include anyone on the same point score? I don't know. That's how I read it when I was reading it earlier today. Checkmate a lot, but I don't know for sure. I'll try and find that out by tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, everyone, very much for watching.
Yeah, thanks very much. See you tomorrow.
See you.